Ever find yourself saying, "I'm busier now than when I was working"? It sounds almost like a badge of honor, doesn't it? Retirement was supposed to be this golden time of freedom, relaxation, and finally having time for everything. We pictured leisurely mornings, spontaneous trips, picking up old hobbies, but for so many, the reality looks less like a serene landscape and more like a packed calendar. We leap from decades of full-time work into full-time something else. We volunteer, we join clubs, we take classes, we manage family affairs, we fill every moment. And while being active is certainly good for us, is there a point where too much busyness, even in retirement, starts to become less of a joy and more of a hidden strain? Could this constant need to be doing actually be taking a toll? We don't even realize. It's a surprising truth that sometimes the very thing we think is keeping us vibrant and engaged might, in subtle ways, be working against us. In this video, we're going to gently explore this, looking at how the pressure to stay constantly busy after retirement might not be serving our long-term health and happiness as well as we think, and how finding a healthier balance can truly change things for the better. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you. Let's start by looking at why filling every single hour might not be the freedom we expected. You see, for decades, our lives were often dictated by external structures, work schedules, deadlines, meetings, the demands of raising a family. When that structure disappears, there can be this underlying feeling of needing to replace it, to prove we're still valuable, still relevant, still busy. It's almost like we've been programmed to believe that a full calendar equals a full life. So, we jump headfirst into new commitments, multiple volunteer roles, ambitious home projects, grandparent duties that feel more like a second job, signing up for every single activity available. On the surface, it looks wonderful. A retiree with a vibrant, active life and activity is important. Absolutely. But when this pursuit of busyness crosses a line, it can start to mimic the stress of the working world. We create our own deadlines, feel pressured to attend things we don't really want to, and find ourselves just as rushed and stretched thin as we were before we retired. Think about it. How many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, I just don't have the time," to relax, or read a book, or just sit quietly? That feeling of being constantly on the go, constantly having something scheduled, triggers our body's stress response. Cortisol levels rise, our minds race, and we carry tension we might not even be aware of. This isn't just about feeling a bit tired at the end of the day. Chronic stress, the kind that comes from relentlessly pushing ourselves, has very real physical consequences. Especially as we get older, it can contribute to heart problems, weaken our immune system, making us more susceptible to illness, disrupt our sleep patterns, leaving us feeling drained, and even impact our cognitive function, making it harder to focus and remember things. It's the paradox of retirement busyness. We're trying to stay active to stay healthy, but the wrong kind or too much of that activity, driven by internal or external pressure, can actually undermine our health goals. We might be physically moving, but our minds and bodies are stuck in a state of low-grade alarm. It's also easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. We see neighbors jetting off on multiple holidays, friends juggling 5 different club memberships, and we think, maybe I should be doing more. This comparison game fuels the need to be busy, making us feel inadequate if we're not constantly achieving or participating. This pressure isn't usually malicious. It's often well-meaning advice or simply observing the cultural narrative around successful retirement. But it can make us feel guilty for wanting downtime, for needing a quiet afternoon, or for simply not having the energy or inclination to fill every single moment. The actionable step here is learning to recognize when your busyness feels driven by joy and interest versus obligation or a fear of missing out. Start small. Identify 1 or 2 activities that genuinely light you up and give yourself permission to say no to the others, even if they seem like good opportunities. Practice scheduling white space in your week, blocks of time with absolutely nothing planned. This unstructured time is crucial for spontaneity, rest, and simply being, which is just as important as doing. This isn't about becoming idle. It's about being intentional with your time and energy, ensuring that your activities are adding to your life, not subtracting from your well-being by creating undue stress and exhaustion. It's a shift in mindset from feeling you have to be busy to choosing how you want to spend your precious time. Beyond just being overscheduled, there's another side to this relentless busyness that's perhaps even more subtle and potentially harmful: the avoidance of stillness. After decades of constant motion, constant demands, constant noise, the prospect of quiet can feel uncomfortable. We might not even be consciously aware of it, but some of us fill every moment, turning on the TV the second we walk into a room, constantly checking phones, flitting from one task to the next, because being still with our thoughts, with ourselves, feels unfamiliar or even a little scary. What happens when the external distractions fade? What thoughts or feelings might surface that we've been expertly avoiding with our packed schedules? This avoidance of stillness prevents genuine rest and introspection. It denies us the opportunity to process emotions, to reflect on our lives, to simply be present in the moment. When we're constantly in motion, we're missing out on the profound benefits of quiet contemplation and true relaxation. Our brains need downtime to consolidate memories, process information, and simply recharge. Without it, we can feel scattered, anxious, and disconnected from our inner selves. This constant need to be doing can also be a way of avoiding a perceived loss of identity that sometimes comes with retirement. For so long, our jobs, our roles as parents or caregivers, defined a large part of who we were. When those structures are gone, there can be a void. Filling that void with endless activities can feel like a substitute for that lost sense of purpose or identity. We think, if I'm busy volunteering, I'm still important. If I'm constantly doing things with the grandkids, I'm still needed. If I'm working on this big project, I'm still productive. And while these things can provide purpose, if they're undertaken purely out of a need to feel valuable and lead to stress and exhaustion, they're not truly serving us. True purpose in retirement isn't about replicating the demands of work. It's about finding meaning and fulfillment in ways that nourish your soul and spirit. It's about quality over quantity, joy over obligation. Think about the difference between working tirelessly on a passion project that excites you versus feeling obligated to attend every single committee meeting for a cause you only mildly care about because you feel you should. One adds energy, the other drains it. The actionable step here is to explore what truly brings you a sense of calm and centeredness. This might be different for everyone. For some, it's a quiet walk in nature. For others, it's listening to music, gentle stretching or yoga, meditation, or simply sitting with a cup of tea and watching the birds. Schedule these moments of stillness just as you would schedule an appointment. Start with just 10 or 15 minutes a day. Don't try to do anything during this time. Just allow yourself to be present. This takes practice, especially if you're used to constant activity. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Then, look at your activities through the lens of genuine purpose versus frantic busyness. What makes you feel truly alive and fulfilled? What activities leave you feeling energized? Not depleted, retirement offers a unique opportunity to redefine purpose on your own terms. It could be deepening relationships, learning something new purely for the joy of it, creative expression, or contributing to others in a way that feels sustainable and joyful. It's not about having a packed schedule. It's about having a schedule that reflects your values and brings you genuine happiness and meaning, without the pressure cooker environment we might have been used to. It's a shift from external validation of busyness to internal validation of well-being and peace. So, we've talked about the unexpected stresses of overscheduling, the importance of finding peace in stillness, and how true purpose in retirement isn't about constant activity, but about finding meaning that nourishes us. The pressure to stay constantly busy after retirement isn't just about filling time. It can stem from a deep-seated societal belief that idleness is bad, that our value is tied to our productivity, and that retirement is a chance to finally do everything we never had time for, often leading us to cram more in than is healthy or joyful. This relentless drive, while appearing positive, can silently contribute to chronic stress, physical wear and tear, and a feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed, which, over time, does take a toll on our health and happiness. The surprising truth is that one of the most valuable things you can do for your health and longevity in retirement is to learn to slow down. It's counterintuitive in a world that celebrates being busy, but embracing moments of quiet, downtime, and unstructured leisure isn't lazy. It's essential for our well-being. It allows our bodies to recover, our minds to relax, and gives us the space to genuinely enjoy the life we've worked so hard to build. This doesn't mean doing nothing, but it means being selective, prioritizing rest and relationships alongside purposeful activities, and letting go of the idea that every moment needs to be filled. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. Start by identifying one area where you feel overly committed and explore whether you can gently pull back. Schedule just 15 minutes of quiet time each day. Pay attention to how different activities make you feel, energized or drained. Use that as a guide for how you spend your time. This phase of life is an incredible opportunity to live intentionally, to nurture your mind and body, and to define success not by how many things you do, but by how much joy, peace, and fulfillment you experience. Letting go of the pressure to be constantly busy isn't giving up on life. It's giving yourself permission to truly live it, more fully and more healthily. Finding that balance between activity and rest is the key to a vibrant, fulfilling, and long retirement. Embrace the peace, find your rhythm, and truly live your best life at every age. If this resonated with you, please give this video a like. Have you felt this pressure to be busy in retirement? Or have you found a healthy balance? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help others. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips and encouragement on living your best life after 60.